It is right. We'll start the meeting. Good evening, fellow councillors. Thank you for coming tonight to our environment meeting. Going through the agenda, we have looking at it. Yes, it is the yeah. Questions from members of the public? No members of the public. No, not that I can see. Apologies for absence. Several, I believe, haven't we?
Yes, I've had apologies this evening from councillors Mrs. Allen Wilson, G. Birch, Mossam, Mrs. Mossam, Witterson and Hutchinson.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, also Councillor Thompson won't be here tonight.
It's not on this committee.
Is he now?
Hutchinson.
No.
It's not.
No, he's not.
Well, he sent it.
Thompson.
I'm sorry, Thompson.
No, he's not on this committee.
I think he came on one occasion, I think, because he had a particular interest in something.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, he sent his apologies by me anyway. So.
Thank you for that. Members' interests, to receive any declaration of interest from members of the public on business to be transacted. Any interest to be expressed? No, thank you very much for that. Minutes of the Environment Committee meeting held on the 13th of November last year. If I can do.
Yeah, I've just got something that I'd like to draw your attention to. On the minutes of the meeting, it says on those present, I would appreciate if councillor is added to my name.
This is on, sorry, on.
It says those present.
Yeah, it doesn't say councillor Mrs. H. Hill.
Oh,
It just says
Thank you.
Mrs. H. Hill.
Oh,
Thank you, Nick.
are we happy to correct that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay then. Right. That's noted then. Anything else then on the minutes before I sign them as a true record? Right, thank you very much. Initial them on Palmer's absence.
Ready to know?
Yeah, we need a seconder as well.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you have a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Allen. Six. Right. Sorry?
Vote.
Yeah, those in favour of the minutes, that seems to be unanimous. Any against? Any abstentions? None. Right, thank you for that. Climate change is where we.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I was really crisp, but I also noticed on the agenda, we've got 2 items of 4.
We have, yes.
Right.
Numbering's out.
Yeah.
Not spotted
Yes.
by myself or
No,
Mr.
that's
Brassard.
right. Yes, well spotted.
Because I had to slip the first one in after the
So
change.
we'll set them then 5, 6, 7, and then effectively then
Yeah.
12 will be the date of the next meeting. Right.
Sorry,
well
Chris.
spotted.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then. Yes.
Right. We've had our meeting, and I will ask Hazel to give us some details about one of the things, because it's probably the budget item. Right. I forwarded on the cycling infrastructure report that I promised last time, and so if there's any comments from that, I think it's very grateful to hear them. I've passed it also on to Philip Burke at Planning Council, and they are saying that they'll use it as a basis of and seeing if any improvements can be made. Don't know how far that's going to go. Right, the second item was the sort of the follow-up to Big Green Week, which we were going to do in the follow-up to Go Green. The proposal was that we hold a quiz, a themed quiz on the 6th of June, was it?
Yeah, 6th of June. It's the first Saturday of the Green Week.
Okay. Would you like to?
It was just that we mentioned that in the earlier meeting on the 13th of November. And we thought it'd be nice to start the Go Green, instead of doing an event like we've done the last 2 years, to do a quiz that evening, but base it on climate change or a green theme to the quiz. So I think from what you were saying, I think we need approval from this committee that we can go ahead with that idea.
Yeah, all I would say as well is I would think about the date just from a business point of view, because Saturdays literally from the end of May right through until generally the end of September are normally fully booked with Nepalese parties that run from 10 in the morning to 10 at night. So if we're losing income, we're going to be losing between 350 and 400 pounds for that. So is there any consideration for doing it on a Friday evening?
Could
Where
they
it
do,
won't impact the business,
or could they do a little Sandhurst?
It's another option.
or Little Sandhurst, depending on
Well,
numbers that you're thinking.
Well, I mean, usually the quiz evenings are quite popular, and in the past we've managed to fill the hall quite easily.
Yeah, I think Little Sandhurst will be little bit limiting for numbers.
I'm just thinking again. It's an event held for the benefit of our residents. Which we do quite a number of events for our residents, like Remembrance and Christmas evening and things like that. And it's just something that you know, I was going to say, falls in line with getting the residents involved.
Does it necessarily have to be a Saturday? Would presumably a Sunday wouldn't be convenient then?
No, it was.
You know, to engage with the public.
Well, as I say, we looked at the date because it's the when I looked at the calendar, it's the beginning of the Green Week.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, well, if we start off with that more than anything else, and I didn't want to clash with anything that's going on in Crowthorne because they have quite a number of events in Green Week itself, and I think that they're going to do a quiz. So I thought, well, if we get in early, otherwise we're going to be in competition with them.
Though I would imagine, going back to Mike's comment, I would imagine that Sunday is probably a better day because you're less likely to clash with Crowthorne, I would have thought.
Yeah, Crowthorne's starting their events on the Monday of the next week.
They haven't declared a date for the quiz, have they?
So when does the Go Green Week start? Because if it starts on the Saturday, you'll have the following Friday.
We have the following Friday and Saturday, but I think that's when Crowthorne are doing their quiz.
But, you know, I say, if you want to consider the Sunday as well as an alternative, because I mean, it is a weekend day, it's not a working day, so.
Or if you're starting early anyway, so if the big Green Week doesn't start till that Monday and you're looking for the Saturday, why can't you do the Friday night instead of the Saturday, Friday the 5th?
We could discuss it. We've got a climate change meeting, haven't we, in early February, 3rd of February?
That's even if these dates are available, because I can't say that they're available at the moment either without checking the diaries.
Well, we did talk about it, didn't we? We thought the 6th was the best for a number of reasons.
Yeah, and then the other reason is it was also if we do the next, you're saying on a Friday, but the next, I don't know when the gardening club have their Saturday. They have a Saturday, don't they? But again, I don't want to clash with them.
Well, you won't be clashing because it'll already be booked.
Yeah. And I've also got the dates of
They book months.
But they book the Friday night anyway as well. So yeah.
So I don't want to clash with them. So is it possible to check?
We can check the diary. My point is that I just don't think it's very practical having it on a Saturday due to lost revenue.
Is there ever a time when the Nepalese don't have it on a Saturday?
Very
Is it
rare.
fairly-
No, very rare. They have Sundays as well.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. Then.
Not every Sunday, but pretty much every
John,
Saturday.
got a question or comment?
Yes, question, please. So could you just help me understand what this would look like? So is this a quiz night in the main hall?
Yeah.
An environmental green quiz night?
Yeah, based on environmental factors, if you like, or whatever.
And so what's the setup? So how many staff will need to be here? Will drinks be provided?
What they not
expect?
what we've done in the past is, I'm just going as the past, it's been very successful. £5 a head, normally teams of 6 or 8. No bar, people bring their own food and drink, and that's it. And then the prize can be made up of the prize pot can be made up of the contributions that people have paid to come.
Okay, so it's like, doesn't really cost anything.
No,
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I wasn't aware that we had quiz nights, council.
Yeah.
quizzes before.
Yeah, we haven't had.
No, we haven't had council quiz, that's just for the mayor's charities,
Right.
but not, it's not something that we've done outside of that before.
Yeah.
People have hired it to do them and that, but like Hazel said, they're always very well attended.
Interesting idea.
Presumably the Nepalese, it's the main hall, is it, or is it the kitty dancing
Main,
room?
yeah.
Main hall. Kitty dancing room wouldn't be big enough.
Wow.
Well, I just asked the question because they have used it in the past.
Could we have a quiz in here?
You could, but you,
Okay,
yes,
food
you
and
could.
drink.
Logistically, you're going to have very little parking. But yes, you could have it in here. It's not a problem at all.
Is the Nepalese tend to use the car park for their?
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
They'll probably fill it.
yeah, they do generally.
Okay.
I think, for this evening, you need to make the decision as to whether you're going to hold a quiz, and then the logistics of it can be looked at with the the diary, and then the practicalities of it, and basically go from there.
Are we happy to discuss it maybe when you meet?
Well,
We meet?
Yeah, but as the climate change group, that's what we proposed to do this year was a quiz, which we'd mentioned it in the last meeting that we were thinking of doing an evening event, which we've now shaped up, haven't we, in our work within our working group. And as I say, we thought that the first, to start off that week with it would be key rather than, as I say, clash with Crowthorne, because if I move it to the following, let's say if I move it to the Friday, as you sort of might be suggesting, I'm sure we'll clash with Crowthorne.
Well, that's why I was suggesting the Sunday, because it's the day after. But, you seem to
Oh.
be,
Why do we have to have it in that week? Because the members of the public aren't going to know it's that week. We can hold it at any point.
Well, it's a,
but you've still got the problem of them holding it on a Saturday. So
Well, that's what I mean. But any Friday.
I mean, there will be events going on all over the country on that week.
What's the issue with?
Well, it's such a good.
it's not really normally. I like finishing at 2 a.m.
That's right. That's right. Now,
People will be home by 10.
driving miles to get here. So yeah.
Pub quizzes are normally on a Sunday as well.
Or midweek, normally.
Pub quizzes are quite often midweek.
I mean, I'm not fussed either way, but if we're busy on the Saturdays.
So you're saying,
I guess the
the
Sunday.
thing is, we've got to sort out a date, obviously, with you availability, and then we've also got to sort out a quiz master. So, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, the hire of the room comes first, otherwise you've got no quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we propose then the 7th, the Sunday.
We can't agree anything today, so all you can propose today really
That
is-
calendar, you can only
yeah.
propose that we hold an event subject to availability of the hall.
Okay,
and that your request would be whatever date.
For the 7th, to be able to third day at the moment. Yeah.
sorry, we
If
have to go for the 7th, there's a second choice,
Second choice. Okay. 6 or
I think.
yeah, whichever.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
I will minute that I have recommended that you don't take that revenue off of the council by using it on a Saturday, because it is a lot of money. So if you're still proposing that, I am going to minute that I suggest you don't.
10 hours of hall hire is about 300 quid.
Yeah, it's between £300 and £400 they have.
Yes. What we don't want then is for the Nepalese to then think, well, maybe we should be looking at an alternative location if we can't be accommodated, because it is a regular event on a Saturday.
Well, then all I can say is, at least we can look, can we check with you the dates tomorrow? Oh, I can't, I'm not available tomorrow. Monday,
Yeah.
as alternative dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we propose that we do a quiz, based on climate change, environmental issues, I would say sometime in June.
Yeah.
Would that be agreeable?
To be confirmed.
I'm happy to second.
Something. Okay. I'm happy.
Thank you, Nick.
with that. Okay then.
All those in favour?
Right. Okay then. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Is it also worth mentioning about, I think there's a change, Angie mentioned about Bracknell proposing that there should be a levy applied if they're participating in it.
Oh, no, that's not for this.
It's not to do with this then. Okay, fine. I was just concerned because obviously there was a financial implication in that.
No.
Right, okay then. Is it worth, Chris, one of the things we mentioned as our climate change working group is the question of the wildflower
Yeah,
area. Do you want to, because
yeah.
it'd be useful to have that, because particularly as we're coming up to the budget discussions a bit later on.
Right. The last thing I discussed this at the, what's it called? The survey group of the biodiversity working group. And I've agreed that to start with, first of all, we need to identify some potential sites. So what I'd said I would do personally is that in the spring, before the first cut is done, and do a survey. They're going to give me some training to do it, to do a sort of quick and dirty survey of what wildflowers are there, insects and the like. It's a snapshot. And also if we can identify any potential sites that we think this would be worthwhile looking into. So basically it would mean that the Bracknell we'd put a no-mow thing onto this. So if it's depends on the site it is, some of the sites which are not linked to any particular house or few houses. I've done some in Warfield like it, which I went to see. And they just basically did it. But of course, if it's in a street outside people's houses, some sort of consultation would need to be done to sort of see if people actually wanted it.
You'd have to get permission as well, wherever you put it, if it's not on the park, because we don't own the land.
Highways, yes, will be.
It should be through, I mean, Bracknell, they're doing it through the auspices of Bracknell Forest Council at the moment, so they would take responsibility. But we've been asked as the town to identify potential sites where this could be. So if anyone would like to, has got any thoughts about that, I've got a few views of my own, but if
Well, there's sites here and there's possibly Oldsmore Park as well,
Yeah.
isn't there?
we did also, where did we talk about the actual park here, was whether we could have a discussion about designating a part of the park that was rewilded. Same sort of thing. There's some parts of it which actually wouldn't be a great deal of change anyway, really, but just reducing the amount of cutting would be the main thing. We're seeing the one they did in Brack, which I saw, was in Elms Park, is it? Yeah, where they did they cleared all the grass and then reseeded it. But the one they did in Warfield, they basically left it as it was and added a few more seeds to it. And to be honest, the lower intervention one actually looked better from my perspective, but there you go. So I mean, that's all stuff to be worked out, but it seems that
I presume then the plan will be, Chris, for you to include that in the agenda for discussion at the climate change working group.
yes, it's on it already.
And then maybe try and get one person potentially to take ownership of it as a project.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I said I would do it, but if anyone else would like to assist me with it, I'd be more than grateful. But I've actually undertaken that with the biodiversity group anyway. So
Okay.
yeah.
It may be a case of not one person, but two people maybe helping, as part of teamwork.
5, 10, it'd be great. Yeah. But I thought it'd be rather than just let it sit, to actually move it along a bit.
Right.
There was another bit on that you agreed to do something with on the
Is it we're onto 5B, are we?
well, still on, is it 5B?
We changed the
4B.
No,
numbers.
we haven't got there yet, Mike.
We have.
Yeah, we're still on basically the report from, where are we? Yeah, report. Lakes and waterways, we were going to basically do just a survey amongst ourselves. You were going to find the ownership of a couple of places, weren't you, in lakes? So basically just survey what lakes and ponds have we got in Sandhurst, who owns them, and basically what they're like, So that's a no cost thing, but we'll be doing it. Cycling we've talked about. Thermal imaging. We did have a look at what's available. I gather from Darcy that we've had one loan out of the thermal cameras
Yeah.
we've got. We went over to the library and see that they've got 2 there. Between them, they've loaned them out 5 times this year, so they're actually getting those out. Their system is they only allowed it out for 2 days. There's no charge. There's a 90p booking fee, so don't know if that has any.
I suppose that's like if you reserve a book, the same
Yes.
sort of thing.
That's right, yeah. So if you just go in there on the off chance, if it's available, you can take it out for nothing for 2 days. And I think the same applies at Crowthorne and various other libraries as well.
How did the library promote it? How, in terms of customers coming in? Is it because they had a flyer or?
They didn't seem to have anything much at all on it, actually, really, but the word seems to have got around about it. They're not, it's not well publicised as ours,
Okay.
as far as I could see.
Well, saying that, well, there's 2 things that come to mind. Is it worth putting a poster up in the reception area on our notice board about the thermal imaging camera availability?
Well, it probably would be, but I mean, there's notices around on the boards, aren't there? That, I mean, you put them up, didn't you, Michael?
I haven't
No,
seen
I haven't
any
seen
notice board.
All right.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, but I think if we want put one in the hallway there, on the main notice board,
Yes.
might be useful.
Yes, we could do that.
I also understand that there was supposed to be an article in the,
There was.
wasn't,
Talk about the SRA magazine? Or,
yeah, wasn't.
So there was some confusion because when someone was flipping through the SRA magazine, only found 6 pages, not 8.
Yes, some of the pages missing, didn't they?
So there was only 6 pages.
So perhaps that's a issue then with the SRA publicise,
Yeah,
the
The
print
last 2 pages of our
was in there.
the last 2 pages of ours were adverts.
And that's why our thermal imaging didn't get
Is
printed.
there one out here?
Yeah, I'll get rid of that.
We are digressing though, so can we please
Yeah.
complete the agenda?
Yeah. Okay, we discussed solar panels for buildings, education engagement. Oh, the repair cafe.
That's the next item.
That's on the next item. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, we did discuss some other things. One that's probably worth mentioning was GWR. There we could get a grant from them for engineering involves health and travel to basically involving the railway. So I've got a proposal which was to try and for them to upgrade the cycle storage at Sandhurst station. If anyone else has got any ideas, we do need to have it in before the 2nd of February though. So if I'm quite happy to put the bid together, but I'd welcome any other proposals on that.
That might be useful working with Blackwater Valley because they've done a lot of work with Farnburn North Station, I think, and other
We
stations.
did mention that, but I tried
Yeah,
to get
I
in
think it
touch.
might be.
Diane gave me the
Um,
detail and I couldn't make contact with the person who it was.
I'll send you their email.
So are you applying for this grant on behalf of Sandhurst Town Council?
Probably on behalf of BFCCA actually,
Okay.
but it will be, hopefully we'll get it for Sandhurst. But it won't be on our behalf, if you know what I mean. That's it, apart from that one can come on to the repair thing, yeah.
Thank you. Moving on then to
B.
item B.
Right. Well, the only thing I can report on that is that when we looked at the police point as we discussed, and Russell, Julia came with me as well, who had a bit more experience of these things. Basically, thought the police were too small and couldn't really make use of that. But we'd still quite like to progress something in this area. I mean, there's obviously one in Crowthorne, but it'd be nice to have one. But we would need some sort of premises to do it.
How much storage do they need?
Well, some, and it needs to be sort of reasonably secure as well, obviously, because they store the tools and stuff like that. So
What about Little Sandhurst Hall?
I don't.
However,
Not a lot of storage.
There's a lot of
The
storage.
car park isn't that big.
There isn't any storage.
that's why I'm thinking of the storage side of things.
No, so-
Yeah. I don't know. It's, if anyone's got any ideas about it, fine, but I mean, at the moment, we're a bit of a blank with that, I think.
So what building did Crowthorne use?
I think they use the church. don't they?
Church, yes,
So the church gives all that storage, does it?
yes, must do.
Okay.
They're doing a similar thing in Bracknell as well, which is again a church hall.
But is there any indication that the Sandhurst residents are having to go up to Crowthorne with their electrical items?
We guess,
Why you don't?
yeah,
You know, because I just worry slightly that we might be diluting the commitment that they themselves have got. Because I think Brian Wilson's very much involved, isn't he, in that?
Yeah.
And Alan Wilson's husband.
yes, yes.
Has we had any feedback from him on the suitability of a separate entity, should we say, for Sandhurst, as opposed to allowing Sandhurst residents to go literally 2 miles up the road?
Well, yeah, I mean, the idea came from the BFCCA thinking, okay, well, it'd be nice to have one in Sandhurst as well. But yeah, what point you make, Michael, I totally agree. We might be better off just bolstering what they do in Crowthorne.
I also know of Sandhurst residents who actually do a work on the repairing side.
Yes.
In the Crowthorne cafe. So
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's a very good point that. I'll take that back then and suggest we do something maybe in that line then. So that's it from me, thanks, folks.
Right, so we now move on to
just going back to the thing about the thermal imaging camera, if those 2 pages didn't appear, and the thermal imaging was on one of those 2 pages, we need to put it in the next one.
Yeah.
And anything else that should have been there that didn't make it.
right. So agenda item number 6 or 5A, depending on how we look at it. I'll try and be brief, but I fear that it's going to be quite a long presentation, but hopefully it will be the final presentation that I make on the subject of flower towers and hanging baskets. I could really say that probably as of this morning, I believe that I have the last piece of the jigsaw in place. We have finally got some outcomes, which is reassuring. If I try and break it down into 4 elements, which are the 4 parishes. The first one is Little Sandhurst and the Mill Shopping Parade. That would have a flower tower of that type. You've seen that before. This is one that is taken from Crowthorne. There is a designated area for it, which lends itself very well. What makes it slightly unusual is that the land itself is actually not owned by Bracknell Forest Council. It's owned by the developer who built the houses behind the shops in the Mill Shopping Parade. I have their permission for the flower tower to be installed there. The usual caveat that if there's any vandalism, it's at our responsibility. It's understandable because they don't want to take ownership of something on which basically we are the provider of the flower tower. So I've done the costings on that, and I'll come to that. Well, in fact, I'll come to it now. The costings for Little Sandhurst come to a moment. Lots of pieces of paper. The flower tower installation by the company in Slough is £650. We then have the summer planting at £194, and also then in the autumn going towards the winter, we will have the winter planting also at £194. As we discussed last time, I think there is merit in having both summer and winter planting, because if we didn't go ahead with the winter planting, the potential is that the company who supplied the flower tower would remove it, and then we would have to pay a second time for it to be installed in the spring of the following year. But I think having seen Crowthorne's one and the different flowers that they have for the winter activity, it does provide colour all the year round. So on that basis, we have a costing from Window Flowers in Slough for £1,232 for the Mill Shopping Parade. Our small community centre. Sorry, John?
it totals 1,038. So where's the extra 200 come from? Isn't it?
You've got £650 for the installation,
And
Yeah.
195 twice.
194 for the summer and 194 for the winter.
That's 1,000.
1,032, not 1,232.
1232.
No.
103.
1,032.
1032.
Can we just go from the
Oh,
actual
well, yeah, the
paper
quote.
that
Yes,
I've
yes,
done, which
okay.
is from the quote,
Yes.
because that's got the correct figures on.
Okay, yeah, let's have a, sorry, bear with me. Yeah, it's far
Yeah, that's the overall rather than breaking it to each.
There is no, there is break. It's just
Yeah, I don't see the benefit of breaking it to each
Okay,
area.
all right.
38 actually. isn't it?
Right, well, we can correct that, but Owlsmore is going to be the same arrangement. It will be outside the community centre. Again, there is permission for it from the manager of the Owlsmore Community Centre. Again, it will be summer planting and winter planting, so it will be the same figure that's being quoted, and I think the revised figure is 1202.
No, 1038.
1038.
102.
You said 650 plus 194 plus 194.
Correct.
1038.
1028. Okay, so it's 1028 times 2.
1038.
Yes, I agree.
I thought it said 2.
I agree. Now, where we have made very, very good progress, I have to say, is with the poles in both central Sandhurst, the 6 that are in central Sandhurst, and the 5 that are in College Town outside Aldi. What has happened here is that I approached Gary Cleaver of the Highways Department, it must have been about a year ago, asking that we would take over the responsibility of the metal poles. He declined to allow us to take that ownership because of a suggestion of corrosion internally. They were installed over 20 years ago. The great difficulty is I can't prove that they're not corroded internally. We have to accept that they are their property and they can do with them what they wish. Now, what has happened, though, is that I then contacted Gary to get an indication of how much it would cost to replace those 11 metal poles with metal poles of their specification. He then came back to me with an indication of £500 to £600 per pole. The problem is that it was just a sort of an estimate without any evidence of where the figure came from. I worked on the basis of £600 for each pole, multiplied by 11, £6,600. You might remember it was actually Councillor Birch who put forward a motion that £7,000 could be allocated out of the SIL money that's in ring-fenced to go towards the metal poles.
Yeah.
I then contacted a person called Cam Sankha, Sangha, at Bratton Forest Council, again Highways Department, and asked him if he would provide an actual costing for the metal poles. He then came back to me earlier this week with a figure of £54 for each metal pole and £70 for delivery of the metal poles. I then went back to him and said, Cam, are you sure that this is the correct figure? And he then came back to me and said, and I will quote his wording, which I've got here. His wording is: the contractor has confirmed that each pole will cost £54 per replacement plus a £75 delivery charge for these poles. However,
Does that include installation?
sorry,
Does that include installation?
yes,
What?
but this is where it becomes complicated.
Go on then.
Removal of the old poles.
I then get an email from Cam Sankha this afternoon at 13:42, which I didn't see until 5 o'clock because I was driving the minibus this afternoon for the Sandhurst Day Centre. Lo and behold, I've now got a proper estimate from Ringway Infrastructure Services Limited.
Yeah.
It is more expensive, but it's still less than Gary was quoting of £500 to £600 per pole. The figure that I've now got for the replacement metal poles is £226.53 for each pole. 6 in central Sandhurst, 5 in College Town.
Sold to the man in the corner. Yeah, I agree with that.
So the figure again, if I can give you the figure for central Sandhurst, and Nick will no doubt use his forensic calculation. The poles themselves come 6 times 226.53, and I believe it's 1359.18.
6 times,
Yeah, it is
7 times.
correct.
Yeah, 6 poles. No. 6 in Central Sandhurst, 5 in College Town.
I was
I'm
expecting it was a
splitting
total.
between
Yeah,
the
I don't know what the benefit of splitting it is.
because I've done it that way. I know, but there was a total. I'm coming to the total. Okay, there are metal security clips. There are 12 summer hanging baskets at £90 each. Okay, and there are 12 winter hanging baskets at £90 each. The total for Central Sandhurst is just over £4,000, and the total for College Town is £3,400. The total for all 4 parishes comes to about £9,900. And that will be for the flower towers in Little Sandhurst, Owlsmore, the 6 poles, metal poles in Central Sandhurst, the 5 metal poles in College Town.
So the
So-
bottom line is the poles are more expensive than the flower towers.
Yes, they are. But the difficulty that we've got, Hazel, as you remember, is that we met a stumbling block when I approached Bracknell to have the flower towers outside the library, which is what I was proposing. It then came back, Jennifer Coupland of the landscaping department came back and said she would not allow the flower tower to be positioned there because it interferes with the grass cutting activity by their contractors.
Wildflower site to me.
So I went back to look at, I do like, I have to say, the hanging baskets in Central South. I don't know if you'll remember 20 years ago. I don't know if Nick will remember. They were very impressive.
They were, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So what was the total? 6,547.
Sorry, John, I can't hear.
I just,
The total was 6,547.
No, it wasn't 9,000.
I don't know where you're getting these figures from.
Well,
I'm just thinking we're thinking
Can
about,
you just talk about an overall figure, please?
Yes, I
Because
can.
what we've got is exactly what I've written on this paper for the costs of having everything bar the poles
yes. Okay.
for the whole town.
Everything bar the poles is how much?
So depending on whether or not you're just doing summer flowers or winter flowers as
Both.
well.
Both.
Well, I'm proposing we do both.
So to do both, then 5,650.
To which we have to add on the ring.
5,650.
650.
And then you've got 1,359 and 1,000.
What?
135,918 and
thousands
114.
for flowers.
Yeah, shall I give you the total figure?
The 1,359 is for the 6 poles for Central Sandhurst.
The quote for Ringway is £2,491.
That makes sense.
I didn't realise you got that. Yes.
2,000 what?
400, so 2491.83 is the cost for Ringway.
This is for the poles. It's for removing the old poles, 11 of them, and replacing them
Yes.
with tubular steel.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So it's 2.5 grand for the poles,
Yes,
5.5 grand for the flowers,
yes. And the total?
which is about 8 grand, just over 8 grand.
Okay.
But that is different from your separate calculations.
Sorry, John?
That is different from your separate calculations.
Yes.
So what was set in the budget for it?
5,000. But obviously this 2.5 will come out of what was going to be 7, which was still. So that is still,
Is that
Set.
justified spending of still money?
well, it was approved by S&P anyway, so that's already been done.
Yeah. S&P approved.
I just,
You were there.
But then,
I'm just,
sorry.
well, we're talking about spending £7,500 on flowers, and yet earlier we couldn't lose £300 income for a quiz.
I think we're talking about different things.
Yeah, they're not comparable.
They're not, no, I would say it's, each budget, there is a budget assigned to each activity. And obviously, at some stage, we will be discussing budget proposals for environment. I personally am very supportive of the flower towers in both Little Sandhurst and Owlsmore.
Let's just remember that we've already agreed we're doing it. We've already agreed the sill. And really tonight is just about Michael informing everybody. And then the only decision left to be made is, are we having all year round flowers or are we just having summer flowers?
Because if we only have some of
That
those,
is,
yes,
yeah.
they will be taken away.
Yes, they'll be taken away, however,
Then
the
it's
towers
another
won't be taken away.
£650 next year.
And they'll just be empty.
It's actually
again.
cost effective. It saves us £400 by leaving them in situ.
So just to
Because we've
clarify,
already had all the rest agreed, haven't we?
the budget set was 5,000, but now you're saying it's 5,650 for the flowers.
Yes.
So we need to increase the budget for the flowers by £650. Okay. And the 2,491 can come out the SIL.
Yes, that's what was agreed by S&P.
Right, fine.
Which is different from the 7,000.
Yeah,
was
the
originally
7,000
proposed,
was
because that
agreed,
was on the
yeah.
basis of £600 multiplied
That's
by
right.
11.
Yeah, that's right.
John, you had a question.
So the total one-off cost is whatever it was, 8.5 grand. But
Not
then-
quite that much, but yeah.
8.1 grand. isn't it?
8.1. But then after that, it's £748 per year to get both summer and winter flowers
Yes.
to each location.
Yes.
Is that correct?
It's a-
I think that is a very good spend of money. The flowers are very popular. Yes,
I-
£8,000 one-off fee is slightly more than we anticipated.
I think the residents will appreciate it. It's something very visible. It's something that
Yeah.
I think people like flowers.
It's not entirely an 8,000 one-off fee. It's about just 7,250 one-off fee because the rest is all flowers.
True.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, £748 for flowers all year round in the entire town.
That's good. That's very good, especially if you're going to water them.
Yeah.
Because that includes watering.
Look, where are you getting this £700? That's not going to be it ongoing.
194 for summer, 194.
Yes.
Oh no,
No.
that's just for Little Sandhurst and Knowlesmore.
Yeah, and then the 90, and then the 180 for Central Sandhurst, 180 for.
No, the summer season,
It's £90.
90 for summer
No,
for Central Sandhurst,
Each of the,
90
per
for
pole.
College Town.
Is that per pole or?
It's 180, isn't it? So it's what?
let me check.
so for Central Sandhurst, you've got £1,080 for summer season for flowers, watering, maintenance, etc.
But Michael said it was 90.
I-
I know this is very.
This is the quote that it will be paid by the supplier. So we want it broken down.
Yeah.
The rental for summer season, fully inclusive of maintenance and seasonal flowers for 12 hanging baskets. This is summer only. This is Central Sandhurst, £1,080.
Right. Okay.
College Town, £900.
Because it's 10. You see, it's 2 per pole.
Flower Towers, so College Town is the 194.
So have we done College Town? I mean, it's 900.
No, it's 194.
That's Knowlesmore.
Yes. Let's separate out the flower.
Oh, yes, they've put Mill Lane,
Yeah, they are.
Mill Shopping Centre, College Town. Sorry, that's Little Sandhurst. And it's the same for Ellesmore,
How much for this for Sandhurst?
194,
Summer planting.
Why is it so much less for those?
because it's one flower tower,
One flower tower.
Not
not 12 baskets.
So that's what it looks, John, that's what it looks like.
There's
That's it.
2 baskets on each pole, John, as well.
Okay.
So there will be 12 for Central Sandhurst and 10
Is
for
that the prices for the coming season? 20,
yes.
So it's 2,000.
Yes, summer 26,
Okay.
Yeah.
Every year.
because obviously we've missed the boat with.
yeah. I just wanted to check those were current
Yeah,
prices.
yeah.
They are. They were last year's prices, which
They
we
help
agreed to
price
fix for
anyway,
this
but they
year.
have confirmed that,
And
yeah.
that's why I don't want to start talking about prices for next year, because obviously we don't know. I'd rather concentrate on what we've got in front of us based on the quotation, what the wildflowers have provided to us. So
So basically, we already agreed to spend £5,000 on this. So for that budget, we'll be going slightly over it. But seeing as we haven't spent any of it this year, which was what the 5,000 was for,
Yeah.
we have to then consider are we going to increase it? And are we going to do summer and winter? Because that is just summer.
That 2,368 is for just summer.
Yes. It's going to be double that, presumably, for winter. Is that right?
Total charge, hanging baskets, flower towers and hanging baskets. Sorry. Total charge, hanging baskets and flower towers for winter 26 is 2368, as I've put on here.
Yes.
2361. Oh, that's including, that's all 4 areas.
Yep. For Little Sandhurst and Alston.
Yeah.
So it's 2368 for the winter and 2368 for the summer.
3280 for the summer.
Five something.
For the summer.
More watering perhaps? Or-
Yes, most probably less maintenance.
So, yeah.
Or more maintenance in the summer.
Sorry, I missed that.
2368,
What was it for the summer?
3280.
That's total of,
That's less for summer.
That's more.
no, it's 3,280 for the summer.
3,000.
3,280.
It's 5 in total.
It's
Five,
5648.
I think we should start with summer. If we're going to do it, start with summer, see what the residents' reaction to it is. And if it's positive, go for winter, but potentially. I think it's starting to get quite a lot of money now each year.
Well, Crowthorne do, the ones that I have seen, I have to say both Crowthorne and Camberley, they do summer and winter ones. Because, John, the problem is that with Little Sandhurst and Alsmore, if we don't do the winter one, they will take the flower tower away. Because it's their property. And if they take it away and we decide next year we're going to have we're then going to incur another £650 for each location for the bare flower tower to be installed. I personally think it's false economy to only go for summer planting.
But that is only for the flower towers, isn't it?
I believe we've got the budget, so I'm just.
So why don't we go for all year round for the flower towers and the summer planting for the baskets? And then we can assess how they do and what the company's like as to what we do going forward in 27.
We haven't spent the £5,000 this year, so we've got you could say we've got £10,000. And we've got
Quite like that, Michael.
I know, but we've got the SIL money as well.
Right, so
We do need to spend that SIL money sooner or later.
by running paying for the towers over the winter would be £388 for the winter.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than a £650
Yeah,
installation
makes sense,
charge.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the baskets are ours. Are they not?
No, the poles are ours, the baskets are theirs.
So they, okay.
So that don't
The
incur,
baskets,
a cost.
they could if they wanted to take them away,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
which they could do, I suppose, and then bring them back because there's.
Presumably that wouldn't change the cost.
No.
Well, it would reduce the cost by £90 per basket
But you will have
or 40.
hanging baskets with nothing in for 6 months.
No,
of the
because
year.
they're going to take the baskets away, aren't they?
But you've still got the poles there, right?
Are they?
Social
I
media,
don't know.
they will take them away
Yeah, well, that's fine.
because they could.
They can replace them for the summer. For the
Well,
next
also,
year.
if they don't take them away, what you've got are dead flowers, and that I think will look really, really scruffy come October, November time, having the summer plants there in situ, wilting away.
Well, we need to confirm that if we don't have the winter planting in the hanging baskets, do they take the baskets away?
And if they do,
If they do, they bring
Then
them
we've
back
got
in the
their
summer for
poles.
summer planting.
I
We've
think
got
it's,
their poles now.
So not having the winter ones is going to save us 1,170 quid.
with the money is
Is that right?
available. I just think there will be.
Is that right? No,
I
but,
think it,
I mean, that's not much.
What?
no, but it'd be a good way of
Not having the winter
assessing,
ones is going to save us 1,170.
shouldn't it? What they like.
Winter.
Do they get watered regularly? Do they?
No, it's going to save us 2,368.
Yeah, yes.
But Hazel, if we, and like any contract, if they're not watering properly and they're not of a quality,
We're gonna
we will question it and cancel it.
Well,
It's like any contract. We don't take any contract on a trial basis.
Save us £2,000.
We would obviously call it if it's.
It's only 2 lots of 194.
that would be my proposal.
194 for the winter ones for the towers. Each.
So I would propose then, all right, that we do summer and winter in the towers and summer baskets in the poles.
No, if you don't mind, before we vote on that, I've got so many figures running around. It's hard to keep up. College Town, Central Sandhurst is 1,080.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
for the flowers.
yeah, for summer and 1,080 for winter.
Right, and it's £900 for College Town.
Yes,
Right,
correct.
but we've agreed in principle that we're going to do summer and winter for the other locations.
If we didn't do winter, we would save 1,000.
So by not doing winter in College Town and Central Sandhurst,
We save £2,080.
No, we save 1,100.
No,
No, we say, you said it's 1080 and 900. So that's one.
That's correct, yes.
£80.
Yes,
£2,000.
Okay, 1,920 quid sort of. It's the figure I gave you a couple of minutes
it's
ago.
the same price for summer and winter. So we'd be
It
saving
makes sense to keep the flower towers in.
by having bare poles with no hanging baskets for 6 months.
Oh, I think I'm with you, Michael. I think we should just do it.
Right, so is that your proposal then, Hazel?
Yeah, that's my proposal.
Right, so Hazel's proposing. Anyone seconding Hazel?
My God, I think everyone else wants to do the whole.
No. Okay, so Hazel's proposed summer only. And there's no seconder, so the proposal was,
Summer only for the baskets,
yeah,
all year round for the towers.
no seconder.
I'm then proposing that we have flower towers, and thank you for your support. It has been very difficult, but I do think the residents will benefit from it. Nick and I certainly remember going back maybe 22 years. It does provide an awful lot of colour, and those poles are there. What is so sad is we couldn't retain the poles. We've had to expend £2,400 or whatever getting replacement poles, but the borough would not budge on it.
Well, the borough was still watering them in 2020 and 2021. I think they were still planting them up.
It was cost, Nick. I understand.
I know that, but yeah, literally, it's only in the last 4 years and it's stopped. So
Oh, I think longer than that.
no.
You think
When I
so?
was still doing my walking,
right.
which I was still doing in 2020, they were still doing them because I watched them water them.
I think the problem, though, in some ways, is that the poles, there's an allegation or suggestion of corrosion internally. And until you can disprove that,
That's fine.
the borough will say there are poles.
I'm saying they were water.
Yes, okay, right.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Finish that agenda item.
right. Right, in that case, then we now move on to Environment Committee budget planning. We've covered the budget, haven't we, you've got do you want to go through any to?
So the
By-
changes that when myself and Claire, the accountant, have gone through, the changes that are going to be happening just on the general bits and pieces. The clean team budget will be going up to 17,500. Which I mean at the moment is being underspent because Wendy's not currently in work. But it is the salary with a add in for the national insurance and the pay increase. Bulbs has been increased because we're overspending that, but it's gone from 100 to 150. Town bins, which is the bins that the borough collect on our behalf, their contract to collect on our behalf and then bill us, is going up to 2,800. And then the hanging baskets obviously will depend on, well, we've just now agreed, so that budget will need to
1,648, I think it was.
Chris, would we look at a budget for wildflower seeding potentially? Or could that go under the bulbs budget?
Good point.
I
I don't know
suggest it
where.
under bulbs.
Yeah,
Okay,
you might need to round that up to 200.
Or even you have a climate climate change budget of 2,000.
Yeah,
So there's plenty of
could
scope
come
in
out of
there.
that. Then
Yeah.
it needn't be expensive.
Yeah.
So,
We do it within that easy.
Yeah.
Anything else that we can think of? Because this is the only opportunities in town
Yes.
for us to, after that, we can't come back and say, "Oh, can we also have this?" There's
No, because there will be all
there's
of
no
your,
miscellaneous.
no, because all of your suggestions this evening, once you've decided, will be built into the budget, and the request will go to S&P, and they will then obviously recommend the full budget to town. So no, tonight is your last opportunity to request any part of the budget.
Although we will still have some SIL money though, won't we, that can be used for that purpose?
It all has to go through this budget.
It does, okay then.
So the SIL money that was proposed for the polls
Which was £7,000.
was proposed for the polls. If the polls don't cost £7,000, that doesn't mean you keep the change.
No, I appreciate it. That was done on the basis of a figure that I'd been given by Gary
Yes.
Seaver.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you can't keep.
Still money covers the cost of the polls.
Correct.
The lower cost of the polls.
Yes, it covers whatever the cost of the polls is. It doesn't mean you get to keep the residual.
But the SIL money can be used by other departments as well, can it?
Yes.
It can be, so it's a general sense.
Yes,
Right, okay.
So you just
others may
need to
then come
decide
to it.
whether or not you need any changes to this budget that's been presented for the Environment Committee.
So clean team, we've got planting, we've got that.
If no one's got a suggestion, I suggest that we just don't add it, because I don't want people to make it up on the spot. I think it needs to be, if there is a proposal, it needs to be considered more carefully than just off the cuff.
Well, this is what's been on your agenda for several months
Yeah.
for you to consider what you want, and
So if no one's got anything immediately, then I suggest we just say nothing.
Look, just wanting at the last set of minutes.
Question: there's a seat maintenance line of £2,500, which is 2,400, which we haven't spent. Does that go into a reserve, or that's just reserve? Does it just roll
goes
over?
back into general.
Okay, so it basically just rolls over to next year rather than doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're also looking at things like grit bins, aren't we? £800, but they're not ours, surely. The grit bins belong to the borough.
Yeah, we have to pay, and they generally bill us.
I see. That's not for our bins. That's for the service that they provide.
So how much did you say they were going up to?
No, it was town bins.
Oh, it was the town bins was going
Yeah.
up to
They're the ones
Yeah.
as nameplates, in More Heath, etc.
I mean, the grit bins are going to go up 2,800. Oh, that would be bad. Right.
Should we increase the notice board maintenance at £100? It seems very low. I would have thought if we have to replace any for whatever reasons. I know we haven't spent any money, but it's
We did discuss on a meeting or so ago about having different notice boards, but
yeah. But I think the idea was perspex with a lock, and someone would have to have the key. And I can see all manner of impediments to that.
yes, yeah.
It's worked very well for us for 20 years at least. It's just that they are deteriorating. Some of them I notice, the wood is starting to split. I just wonder if we should have a bigger budget to actually physically replace some of the wooden ones, maybe with a plastic type construction or GRP or whatever it is. Start looking at a replacement cycle.
Plastic.
No,
You're on the climate change group, for God's sake. Plastic.
that's made out of milk bottle tops. So that's recyclable. So, Nick, do you have any view on increasing the budget? £100 doesn't seem a very large. I don't think that would cover the cost of one notice board.
It would probably cover the cost of one notice board, but I think we should replace them as they fail rather than.
Absolutely, but it's £100.
They're not all going to fail at the same.
No. But each year we should maybe have a cycle of looking at the 12 notice boards that we've got, and looking at the most.
And in which case, once you've looked at them before the budget's set, you can then say which ones are likely to be replaced in the year. But at the moment, we actually don't have a clue.
I would like the one in Little Sandhurst replaced. because it's in poor condition by the bird in hand public house.
Yeah.
It's one that I put notices up on. And I think that is one that I would like to, but do we know how much it will cost to replace a notice board? Should we put it?
But this is maintenance, so
It's
this isn't replacing them. It's wonky. Let's send Nick out to put another bit of nail in it or something. It's maintenance, like the painting of them. It's not replacing budget.
Got it.
So if you want to have a reserve or something for replacement of, then that's different. But that is purely maintenance of the existing.
I'd like to see us building in, and then in a year's time we can see if it was appropriate for us to have allocated that sum of money to replace maybe one notice board. I don't know, maybe £500.
Item 2, maintenance stroke replacement, because obviously if they're really badly damaged, they're going to need to be replaced.
It would need to be a reserve because you don't know when or if you're going to be spending it.
Right.
So it would be an earmarked reserve rather than a budget line.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that will be essentially on the next page to have that.
Yes.
think you say it.
So you put it into the environment reserves, you'd have so if you want to set up an environment reserves for the notice boards, then we can add a line in for the notice board replacement reserve.
Yeah, which we what 9107.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, then.
But don't worry about that. That's
Okay, so I'd like to propose that.
We're going to put in 500.
500. Yes, that would be my proposal.
Okay,
Are you seconding it, Councillor Allen?
I'm happy to second that.
Okay, all those in favour? £500.
Do you want to discuss it? John's
Right.
something.
If we allocate it, this money, that means it can't be spent elsewhere, doesn't it? In our committee.
Yes.
Well, considering we spent 0% of all our reserves, couldn't we just put ANDs, like the War Memorial maintenance, ANDs notice boards?
no,
So we're not taking up.
no.
What would be the reason for not?
Well, because they're specific, so that is for the War Memorial maintenance.
So when the next person who reverses their car into the bricks on the War Memorial, which seems to happen on a regular basis, that's what that's for.
No, I get that, but
it's
if you're not spending anything on any of
Because you need to
We
identify.
might. That's not to say we wouldn't need all of it for War Memorial maintenance next year. So then there would be none left for notice boards.
It's 12 grand and we're making it 12,500. So, it's not a lot of difference. We're only putting 500 in the pot across all those reserves. So you ought to see what's in the leisure reserve. Come on. Talking about 500 quid. So we get a vote on that?
Yes, for £500.
Yeah.
Those in favour of the recommendation to allocate under environmental reserves £500 for notice board replacements. Councillor Allen seconded. Those in favour? For those against? Right. Okay. The motion is carried. Right. Item number 8, outside bodies reports. Going around the table. Blackwater Valley, Hazel, no.
No meetings.
Okay, then. Nick,
No.
at borough level.
No.
Okay, footpaths. Any feedback on footpaths?
No.
No. Going around the table. We've all been up with our secateurs, have we?
It's the wrong time of year.
How are we getting on?
They're all dead.
Footpaths, Chris. Did we resolve the Cockatopy situation? I know that we decided that we wouldn't provide a composter because it's just impractical and it wouldn't work.
I think we left
Did the borough come along and do a sweep?
Well, they have done. I mean, there's the situation, as we discussed last time, was that if customer services are informed, they do come and do it, on demand. They don't have a schedule for it, but I think that's, if people are that bothered about it, they should contract customer services.
I think it's probably a little bit seasonal according to when the leaves are falling. It's not an all year round activity.
We need to do it again now, but
But you are keeping a paternal eye on it.
I am, yes. I'm also getting various residents around there talk to me about it. Yes.
You've had no resident observation or comment, have you?
Well, apart from the resident
from the
who
person who-
suggested the compost bin, but yes, there are other residents who mention it, yes.
Okay.
Including the lady who lives opposite me as well.
Notice boards, which are probably exhausted the discussion. Anything to report on notice boards? No. Chris, Hazel?
No.
I've got nothing to report. Press and publicity. Messages untidy for release. At the moment. No. All right. Date of the next meeting, 12th of March 2026. Thank you very much for your attendance and
Actually, if you,
support
I was going to say, if you wanted to minute something under press and publicity, it would be to put the article about the heat, the
Yes, there's missing pages.
missing pages on the from the town
Two
council.
missing pages, which you said had been allocated to advertising.
Yeah, basically,
They were actually missing.
they were completely missing. There were 2 pages completely missing. They weren't published.
Which we paid. I signed off the invoice, didn't I?
That's another matter.
Oh.
Let's just concentrate on.
Okay,
Yeah.
right then, fine.
But the article about the heat
Thermal imaging camera.
Yeah.
thermal imaging camera ought to go in on that. So
Pity Diane wasn't here tonight because she would have been
Fine.
able to provide some comments.
Because we haven't finished the meeting yet.
Okay.
No, meeting's finished. Thank you very much. Meeting finished at 20:36.